have kids and you know what it's like trying to get a weekend away, those child-free weekends are nothing to play with. So when Dante and his wife, Cassidy, decide that they're going to take a trip to Dante's family cabin, the ride up there is kind of quiet. Obviously, not necessarily obviously, but married couples go through things. They go through phases sometimes where not everything is roses and sunshine. It doesn't mean that you're heading towards divorce, but it also means maybe we need some time to each other to remind each other what it was like when we first decided, you know what, you are my person, this is what I want to do. So imagine my boy Dante surprised when he gets up to his family cabin and he starts seeing things. He starts feeling like he's being watched almost. He starts feeling like he can't really rest when he does go to sleep. He's having these very vivid dreams to the point where he's like, what did I just see? You know what? Let me not disturb my wife. She's sleeping peacefully. I'm going to try to sort this out mentally myself. At the same time, I might need to just push this in the back of my mind because maybe it was just an odd dream. Maybe it was just a one-off thing. You know how it be when you're sleep exhausted and you finally get into a bed that's comfortable, you finally get into a space that's very familiar. I don't know what it does to the subconscious, but sometimes you do have these extremely vivid dreams that you start wondering, like, is this a sign from God? Is this like my subconscious trying to give me a sign about something that's going on in my marriage or with my wife? Dante keeps seeing these things in these dreams, and it gets to the point where he's now concerned and he's also worried. On top of that, please imagine while you guys are on this child-free trip getaway, an uninvited guest shows up. And not only do they show up, they really damn near invite themselves in. Dante's like, bro, who are you? The guy is really trying to compliment everything down to the paintings. Oh, where did you guys get this painting? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? And Dante's like, my wife picked it out, or so-and-so picked it out. Old boy takes it a step further and tells Dante, like, well, your wife has a very keen eye. First of all, you're finna get your tail whooped. I feel like there's little compliments that people can give your partner that, what do you call them? They're not backhanded compliments, but they're compliments where if I was slow, I wouldn't know that you was trying to either make a pass at my wife or I wouldn't know you were trying to have some underhanded remark, whatever. As this man is going throughout the house, he and Dante are having different conversations. And there were some quotes in this book that I highlighted that really just made me feel like that's extremely on point. They do so Cassidy and oh my goodness. So Cassidy and Dante, where is the quote? So this is the part where he's like, so your wife has an eye for the fragile boundary between beauty and oblivion. He sat the painting down. He sat the painting down on the couch with care. I should have been mad that a stranger was rummaging through our things, but I wasn't. That was the part where I was just like, why are you not? Sir, get more angry. Be a little bit more whatever. So there is a part of this conversation too where Dante is looking at the guy and the man tells him, you feel the weight of sin, Dante, but are you sure? It's your sin that haunts you. Dante's now staring at the man. He's like, what do you mean? So he says, not all guilt is born from wrongdoing. Some is inherited, some is bestowed. So Dante turns to him. Well, no, the man turns to Dante and faces him again. And he's like, what do you see in these dreams? So that's when I started feeling, at this point, this is more than the halfway point in the book. That's when it became very clear to me. Dante, there's more going on than I initially thought. I think I missed at the beginning of the book some of the little droplets that were the foreshadowing. That's the word for it. I missed some of the foreshadowing of, I truly thought like maybe this man's just maybe he's just having bad dreams. Like I'm not thinking that he might really be in harm's way. But that quote there of saying like not all guilt is born from wrongdoing, I truly believe that. And I feel like the author ate with this one because I also believe that some karma, some sins are really inherited from our parents. If you had a father that was out here dogging women out, that first daughter, I hate to say it, I don't know why I feel like the stars and moons and everything else align so that that first daughter goes through such experiences with men that the father is kind of forced to sit back and watch. Like, what can you do? Or like maybe when there's like a mother and she used to party a lot and she used to go out a lot and she had a son that was kind of sitting back and watching and witnessing it. Sometimes you might see him inherit this ability to consistently pick women who are partiers over and over and over again. Every time he tries to settle down, he gets cheated on or he gets whatever. So I thought maybe I was reading too deep into the book, but I just felt like it really hit me because sometimes it really does feel like you are guilty by association. And I was wondering, like, maybe that's what my boy Dante's experiencing. Was it a situation where his family that owns this cabin, did y'all do something to somebody in a past life? What happened? This book was really good. I will say this was one of those books where you really have to pay attention. This is not a book where you could be like, oh, I'm skimming, I'm reading it a little bit, or I'm listening to it, or also washing the dishes. No, you need to be locked in because you might be reading this from Dante, from Dante's perspective. Then you may be reading it a few chapters over, where it may be kind of you looking in on what both Dante and Cassie are thinking. You really have to lock in when you're reading this book. And I feel like I enjoyed that because this was the first time where the first time in a minute. Sometimes you read books that are really palate refreshers. This was the first time in a minute where I was like, okay, let me go back a couple pages and read that again because there's no way that this is happening. There's no way that that is happening. The way that the book ends, I did not foresee that ending. I did not foresee it. But I can say that I am satisfied with the way that it ends. Sometimes when you read a book and it has an ending that you didn't foresee, sometimes you'll be like, well, why did the character do this? Or why did the character do that? I fully understand why the choices were chosen that were chosen. That makes no sense. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I get why when a person feels like they are back into a corner of I need to make a decision. Is it that I'm going to take the easy way out, or am I going to hold myself accountable and say, you know what, maybe I could have did X, Y, and Z better. And if I had did X, Y, and Z better, we wouldn't be in this situation today. I really enjoyed it. I feel like this isn't the first book I've read by this author, though. I feel like I've checked out some other books by this author a few years ago. This book was available at Kindle Unlimited. The book says, let me see, well, it does adjust to my reading speed. But the book says that it takes about, I want to say it took me about 3 hours. Now, I didn't read it all in one sitting because I had a lot going on this week. But I feel like it did say it took me about 3 hours. I'm also not the super fat. 4.5 hours. It's 221 pages. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. The book is based in Remington, Georgia, if anyone is familiar with that area. I am not all that familiar with Georgia as I should be. All I really know is Atlanta. I really like the book cover as well. I like when you have different faces in contrast, if you get what I mean. Like, I like when you have like a normal face and like a costume or like a split in half face on a book cover. There's something about it that just draws me in. I've also always said that I adore book covers that are black and red. Something about them just, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe for me, black and red on a book cover really just kind of defines mystery. It lets me know like either someone's super in love and it's gonna be a spicy read, or there's gonna be some suspense in here. And like I said, I was extremely satisfied with the way it ended. Let me know in the comments if you guys have already read this book and what other books I should be checking out by this author.